As capital accumulates, the general rate of profit, the ratio of profit to investment, tends to fall historically towards zero, tending downwards from an estimated 43% in the 1870s to 11% in the 2010s. Over the past 7 centuries, rates of interest, a form of profit, have also tended to fall ever closer to zero, where central bank rates in the US and Britain landed for the first time ever after the Great Recession of 2008. Labour productivity growth rates have also consistently declined, spluttering around 0 to 1% in the 2010s. To counter the trend of falling profitability, capital accumulation is increasingly dependent on corporate mergers, thereby improving economies of scale, productive efficiency, and market share, strangling competition. Expansion in commodity production raises the overall massive profit, but usually at a slower rate than during the previous expansion, since more commodities produced in the same or less time accelerates the devaluation of commodities. 1 gigabyte of data storage, for example, fell from $193,000 in 1980 to just 3 cents in 2014. The same is true of the money commodity. British pound sterling and the US dollar have lost almost 100% of their purchasing power over just the past century, mostly since the 1970s. With the economic necessity of ever greater mergers, private enterprise concentrates into fewer and fewer hands, making capitalists a relatively dwindling class. The number of publicly listed US companies overall fell from 8,000 in 1996 to below 4,000 in 2022. Between 1964 and 2014, the average lifespan of S&P 500 companies, the richest multinational corporations based in the US, shrank from 60 years to 18. Almost half, 43% of around 9,000 commercial banks in the US disappeared just between the year 2000 and the end of 2017, already down from 30,000 in 1921. Of 7 major merger and acquisition waves in the US in the past 130 years, 4 have taken place in the past 35. Logically and historically, the economic necessity of a final merger is approaching.
Why split these states when there could be only one?
The next phase in the development of the productive forces represents the culmination of a long evolutionary series and therefore a revolutionary transformation in the social relations of production. Private enterprise must be taken under public ownership, converted into social enterprise, since there is no exchange of ownership of products to be had in a total monopoly. The competitive for-profit production of commodified utilities must be unified into a singular system of break-even utility production, a higher system of production no longer restrained by the profit necessity. Capitalism must be usurped by its own offspring, communism.